Alright everyone, this video is gonna teach you the exact steps that I took to close my brand new client at $3,000 a month. But before the video starts, let me show the results. So I just got off the phone an hour ago with my brand new client that I managed to close for $3,000 a month. So let me show you on my Stripe dashboard right here if it's gonna focus. So as you see, that's 28.4k. I'll throw up on screen what that is I'll throw up on screen what that is translated into US dollars. But that's my brand new client that I closed for $3,000 a month. And at this point in my journey, I've pretty much been closing a client almost every single day. So I figured out that the best thing that I could do is to get onto YouTube and teach you the exact steps that I take to find potential leads and convert them into a client. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you the exact steps I took for this specific client, how I found the client, how I reached out and talked to them, how I ended up convincing them to actually get on a meeting with me, and how I also closed the deal after the meeting. And in the end of the video, I'm also going to go over what I'm actually going to do with the client, how I'm going to bring the client a result. And I guarantee that this is not a video you want to miss. It's probably going to be one of the most transparent, honest, and valuable videos in the SMMA space right now. As you know, if you've been watching my previous videos, I'm trying to be the most transparent YouTuber on SMMA, and on my channel there's absolutely nothing for sale. And in my last video, I started a movement of young entrepreneurs and agency owners that wants to change their life and their business, and I made a Discord for the movement. So if you're interested in that, you could go ahead and go down to the description to join the Discord, which is completely free and full of value. But I'm not going to waste your time anymore, so hopefully you click a like on this video and subscribe, and let's get straight into the strategy. When it comes to outreach, I have three main strategies that I use to find potential leads, and I might actually make a video on the top 3 outreach strategies for SMMA. But in this video, we're going to talk about how I found this exact client, and I didn't do it to cold emailing. I didn't do it to cold calling. I did none of that. I actually went onto Facebook and messaged a random page. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to walk you through every single step. So do not click off. Let's get into my computer and I'll show you how I actually found this e-commerce client. All right, so we're inside of my computer and I'm going to show you the exact steps I took to find my brand new e-commerce client that I managed to close for $3,000 a month. And I'm obviously going to show you how you can do the same as well, because you really can. I started up my agency with absolutely no advantages, and if you follow the strategies that I'm teaching on my channel, you should totally be able to land a client yourself. So my strategy evolves around browsing the Facebook newsfeed. But if you're into e-commerce, I have a really good tip for you, and that is to download a dropshipping or e-commerce software such as Dropisby, where you can actually find tons of competitors. So what I would do is I would scroll down the Facebook feed to find an ad just like the one we're looking at right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and message the page and ask them who's in charge of their marketing. But the only problem you're going to have when using this strategy is that you might have a hard time actually finding leads. So because of that, I have the solution. On Facebook, 1/3 or 1/4 of the post is going to be in video ad, but what you can actually do to find potential e-commerce stores that you might land as a client for your social media marketing agency is that you can come over to a software that's not made for you to use to find clients, but you can use software such as Dropisby to find other dropshipping or e-commerce competitors. And the cool thing about this is that most agencies are not using this strategy. So what we can do is we can go into Dropisby. And then we can go ahead and, for example, sort it a filter. And this is not sponsored in any way. I'm not necessarily recommending you to use this software. It's just for an example. You can click the filters and then you can sort, for example, by ecom platform. You could put up some likes here. We always want to add some likes and comments just to make sure the engagement is high, because high engagement is a sign of someone actually spending money. You don't want to message pages that only has like 2 likes and spends $5 a day. We want to find someone who actually has money for us. So what we can do is we can sort it, for example, by 50 likes and 50 comments just to find more serious businesses. And if we scroll for some time, we're going to find a lot of different businesses that we potentially could work with. So let's take this shirt as an example. The first thing we can do is we can open their website and kind of see how we can improve their website, because if these guys are interested in us, we're going to target them with an actual loom that's most likely going to convert them into a meeting. Just stick with me here. The strategy is going to make sense in just a couple of seconds. So we can go over their website really quick, check it out, make sure that it looks like somewhat good, and hopefully find an error. Is there something wrong with this website, or a way that they're leaving money on the table that we could tell the business? So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to Dropisby or whatever software you're using to hopefully find their actual Facebook page. But for that specific product, we couldn't find their page, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up another one. So as you see in a couple of this, there's actually a Facebook icon. So what I can do is I can click on the Facebook icon to get directed to their page. And now let's say that I have been reviewing their website and I found a big error, or I found the way that they're leaving money on the table. What I can now go ahead and do is I can message the page and say something like this: hey, I just looked at a website, who's in charge of marketing? When you ask a question like that, you're probably going to talk with an assistant, but this assistant can help you get in touch with the owner easily, because e-commerce stores like this aren't necessarily getting messages requests from agency owners. So what we do is we message them and we ask who's in charge of marketing, because we can't just message the page and say, I'll make you $1,000 profit tomorrow. It's not going to work like that. We have to actually show some interest and kind of like seem like a consumer to begin with. And once we get to know them, once we have our foot in the door, we could start asking the interesting questions. And once we have qualified them and the potential client seems somewhat interested in the offer you have, we can go ahead and send them a loom. So pretend that they answer and they say, we don't have anyone in charge of the marketing. Talk with them a little. This should be relatively simple for you, but you just want to talk to them a little bit, let them know how they're leaving money on the table. So now that we find a client that might be somewhat interested in our offer, we can go ahead and download the extension called Loom. And inside of Loom, as you see here, I have actually been creating multiple looms on just one of my accounts over the past couple of weeks. What we can do inside of Loom is we can go ahead and click record. I recommend you to put Loom to your bookmark so that you can just one click it and it's going to start filming. But I just reinstalled my PC because something was wrong with it, so I don't have it at my bookmarks right now. But what we can do is we can come over to Loom and we can just put the window and we can just click on the window we want to talk about. And now it's counting down, so we need to hurry up and actually get to their website. And right now, as you see, we are actually filming a video for this business. So what I will do right now is I will get onto their website. Let's just pretend that this is the website. It's not the same product, but we'll get onto the website and we'll just review it really quick. We'll also have our ads manager open and we could also have a presentation about our business, letting them know that I'm Henrik and I'm running this agency, and kind of telling them what we have been doing to businesses in the past. And I'm also quickly going to review their website and let them know how they're leaving money on the table. So just pretend that I did all of this right now. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to come over to Loom, stop the video, and I will now get a link. So as you see, my link is up here. Oh shit. So as you see, my link is up here in the right corner. What I'm now going to do, as I said, pretend that we actually had a conversation. I'm going to say... So I'm going to say something like, just record this short video to help with your marketing. Then I'm going to send them the Loom. I probably should not send this, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. But that's the exact strategy I used to get this client that I closed for $3,000 a month onto a meeting with my agency, where I ended up closing them for my second best package. Loom is an extremely good way to reach out and talk to clients in a more personalized form. But you also have to remember that filming a Loom is going to take like 3 to 5 to maybe even 10 minutes if you have to do research beforehand. So I think that it will be a waste of your time to film a Loom before you have qualified the client. So my whole strategy is to qualify the client, talk to them, ask who's in charge of their marketing, and hopefully find someone who does the marketing themselves or someone that just doesn't have a marketing team at all, and tell them how they're leaving money on the table inside the Loom, and then doing a lot of research on their business so that I can actually deliver value in the Loom. And in the end of the Loom, I'm going to quickly show them my ads manager and just let him know that I turned $1,000 for a client of mine into $12,000 without really plugging myself. And then I'm going to keep giving out free value and send them the Loom. And most likely after you've done the Loom, they're going to be somewhat interested in you. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to direct them to my website, where I have a schedule a call option, and the potential client is going to schedule a call with me there. Just a quick 10 to 15 minute call, because nobody's going to be interested if it's like 30 minutes. You got to remember that this is an actual business. They're not going to have time to talk with you or anyone for like 30 minutes. So I'm going to direct them over to my website, where they're going to schedule for a 10 to 15 minute call just to get to know me and my agency. And once they've scheduled for that call, they're pretty much sold if you make the right move. So at this point, you've found a potential client, you sent them out a Loom full of value, and the only thing you've been doing at this point is providing free value, and the business is becoming more and more interested in what you're actually doing. So what you're now going to do is you're going to schedule a 15-minute call with them, where you're going to go over maybe like a quick little presentation on what your agency is doing. And after that, you're just going to pretty much listen to the client speak the whole time, because there's no secrets that when you're trying to sell something, you should just let your client talk all the time and just come in with like 5 to 6 sentences, which is pretty much the whole solution. And then you have to make it a no-brainer for the client to actually start working with you. But if you don't have any results to refer to, I recommend you to get your first client on a 2-week free trial, just so that you can get a testimonial that you can use to close other clients in the future. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give my boy $800 to run the ads for me and completely automate the whole process, while I'm going to cash in $2,200 that I'm going to keep inside of the business and spend on like other types of investments. And the ad should be running relatively smoothly, as my contact person for the ads knows exactly what he's doing and how to bring in leads for the business. And at this point, pretty much the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in touch with the business, give them daily updates on what we're doing with the ads, and also letting them know the results we're bringing in, helping them get better content, helping them improve their click-through rate, and kind of like consulting them to some extent. But this is the exact step-by-step strategy that I use to close this client for my marketing agency. And you could also do this through LinkedIn or with cold email. But the whole point of this strategy is to message the client and just be curious. Who's in charge of marketing? Why are things going the way they're going? And then after that, you're going to let them know how they're leaving money on the table every single month. And then after that, once you kind of been talking to them for some time, they're like kind of interested in you, and you're hopefully now talking to an actual contact person for the business. You're going to do some research on their business to make sure that you actually know a lot about their business before doing this. But after that, you're going to go ahead and send a loom to them. And on that loom, you're only going to talk about their business. And in the end, you're quickly going to mention who you are and what you've done for a client in the past. And after that, you're just going to keep the conversation going. And in the end, direct them to your website. And you have to have a website. I know that some gurus tell you that you don't need a website for SMMA, but they're just trying to keep it simple for you so that you don't have too many questions before buying their course. But when you have a social media marketing agency, I think it's super important that you have a website where you can schedule a call, and then a potential client is going to schedule a call on a website, and then on that call, you're going to give out your offers. And I really recommend you to charge $1,500 or more, because I think a business that charges like $500 just don't seem serious, and a business owner also is not going to take it serious if you charge like $600. So in my opinion, you should charge like $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. But this is the exact strategy that I use to close the client that I just talked about. And if you're interested in learning more about SMMA, make sure to join the agency movement down in the description, which is my free Discord chat. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you click a like on it and subscribe. I'm Henrik, and on this channel, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible and post the most valuable content about SMMA on YouTube a couple of times a week. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.